truth can be stranger than fiction. Advances in science and astonishing natural phenomena have produced facts that sound as if they were ripped from science fiction, yet they're real. There are 9 unbelievable but true facts spanning breakthroughs in technology, bizarre natural biology, and cosmic wonders, each with a brief explanation of why they seem so unbelievable. Number 1. Tardigrades can survive the vacuum of space. Tardigrades are microscopic animals about 0.5 millimeter long that tolerate extremes of heat, cold, pressure, and radiation. They can survive being completely dried out for years, then rehydrate and live again. Remarkably, they endured direct exposure to outer space conditions that would kill almost any other organism and live to tell the tale. This resilience, almost like an alien superpower, makes them seem fantastical, yet they are very real and even common on Earth, living in moss, soil, and water. Scientists are studying how tardigrades do this, as it might one day help protect astronauts or preserve biological materials. Number 2. The immortal jellyfish that reverts to youth. A tiny jellyfish species, Turritopsis dornii, nicknamed the immortal jellyfish, can actually revert its body to a younger form after reaching maturity. When stressed or injured, this creature absorbs its own tentacles and transforms back into a blob-like polyp stage, essentially starting its life cycle over, a feat akin to a butterfly turning back into a caterpillar, then later becoming a butterfly again. The jellyfish can repeat this regeneration process indefinitely, meaning it doesn't seem to die of old age at all. This seems unbelievable because virtually no other animal can reverse its life cycle in such a drastic way. It's as if it can cheat death and aging, a concept often seen in fantasy or futurist stories. In reality, the immortal jellyfish achieves this via cellular reprogramming, also known as transdifferentiation, turning mature cells into earlier forms. Scientists are fascinated by this unique ability. Understanding the jellyfish's rejuvenation tricks at the genetic level might someday give insights into human aging and longevity. Number 3. A zombie fungus controls ants like puppets. In tropical forests, a parasitic fungus called Ophiocordyceps unilateralis literally takes over the bodies of ants, a real-world zombie scenario. When this fungus infects a carpenter ant, it grows through the insect's body and hijacks the ant's brain, compelling it to climb a plant and clamp its jaws on a leaf at a specific height. The ant dies stuck to the leaf, and the fungus then sprouts a long stalk through the ant's head that rains spores onto the forest floor, infecting other ants in the vicinity. Notably, researchers found that the fungus doesn't need to invade the ant's brain at all. Instead, it releases chemicals that control the ant's muscles and behavior like a puppet master. This horrifying strategy sounds like science fiction or horror movies, and indeed inspired zombie creatures in pop culture, but it's a natural phenomenon. A mind-controlling parasite pushes the boundaries of what we think biology can do, essentially turning ants into zombies to propagate itself. Thankfully for us, these fungi are specialized to insects, but the concept of a microbe controlling an animal's behavior demonstrates that even seemingly unreal scenarios can occur in nature. Number 4. It rains diamonds on Neptune and Uranus. Deep within the ice giant planets Neptune and Uranus, it may literally rain diamonds. Scientists believe that the extreme pressures thousands of kilometers below those planets' clouds can crush carbon atoms into solid diamonds, which then fall like hail or rain inside the planets. This idea was first theorized decades ago, and recent experiments have backed it up. By using high-pressure lasers on mixtures of elements found in those planets, researchers observed tiny diamonds forming, confirming that diamond rain is plausible. The diamonds would form in the hot, slushy layers and then sink deeper under gravity, forming a glittering rain of jewels inside the planet. The notion of diamond storms sounds like pure fantasy, precious gems dropping from the sky. Yet, the science is sound. Carbon from methane and other compounds under sufficient pressure will crystallize into diamonds, just as coal is compressed into diamond in Earth's mantle. What's mind-bending is the scale and environment, entire skies of diamonds falling in a planet's depths. This exotic weather highlights how alien the giant planets are compared to Earth, and it even might help explain these planets' odd magnetic fields. It's a reminder that the universe's chemistry doesn't follow human imagination, it often exceeds it. Number 5. A distant planet has sideways glass rain in supersonic winds. Astronomers discovered that the exoplanet HD 189733b, a gas giant 63 light-years away, has some of the most extreme weather ever detected. This world is a hot Jupiter that orbits very close to its star, resulting in atmospheric temperatures over 1,000 degrees Celsius. The atmosphere contains silica particles, commonly known as sand. So the theory is that as this hot planet cools on the night side, drops of molten glass, also known as silicate, condense and rain down. Intense winds measured at around 5,400 to 7,000 km/h, or about 5 to 7 times the speed of sound, would blow these glass droplets sideways, turning any rain into a searing, shredding storm of glass. This reign of terror is practically science fiction come to life. Imagine glass shards flying horizontally at Mach 7, cutting everything in their path. It's an extremely hostile environment unlike anything on Earth. The fact that we can deduce such alien weather is also amazing. Using spectrum analysis and creative modeling, scientists inferred this bizarre climate. It shows that other planets can be more surreal and nightmarish than our wildest sci-fi worlds, with nature concocting weather phenomena far beyond our home planet. Number 6. We captured the first image of a black hole. Black holes were long thought to be impossible to see directly, since not even light escapes them. But in 2019, an international team accomplished what seemed impossible. They produced an actual image of a black hole's shadow. The supermassive black hole they photographed lies at the center of galaxy M87 and has a mass about 6.5 billion times the Sun. The image shows a circular void, known as the event horizon, surrounded by a bright, lopsided ring of light emitted by hot gas swirling around the black hole. To achieve this, the Event Horizon Telescope team combined data from telescopes on multiple continents, syncing them to act as one giant telescope with extremely high resolution. After processing petabytes of data, they unveiled humanity's first look at a black hole. This breakthrough seems like science fiction because it required technology and collaboration on a planetary scale. It confirmed that the invisible can be made visible with ingenuity. We essentially turned Earth into a giant eye to peer into the heart of a galaxy. The image itself was strikingly similar to predictions from Einstein's relativity, solidifying our understanding of black holes. Just a few decades ago, black holes were purely theoretical or depicted with CGI in movies. Now we have actually observed one, bringing sci-fi imagination into scientific reality. Number 7. Scientists created a synthetic life form in the lab. In a real-life twist on playing God, scientists have built a living cell's genome from scratch. In 2010, J. Craig Venter and his team announced they had constructed the first self-replicating synthetic bacterium. They chemically synthesized an entire 1.08 million base pair DNA chromosome based on a mycoplasma bacterium and inserted it into a DNA empty cell. The cell booted up with the synthetic genome and began living and reproducing like a normal bacterium, but carrying only the man-made genetic code. This organism, nicknamed JCVI Sin 1.0, was effectively the first life form whose parent was a computer, as its genome was designed digitally and built in a lab. The creation of a synthetic life form blurs the line between biology and engineering in a way that feels very science fiction. We often see stories of scientists creating life in the lab. In 2010, it actually happened with a microbe. It's unbelievable in that it marks the first instance of humans manufacturing the complete DNA instructions for life. This breakthrough shows that life can be programmed and built, not just evolved, an idea with profound implications. While we're far from creating complex creatures from scratch, This was a critical proof of concept that opens the door to engineered organisms. For example, bacteria that produce medicines or clean pollutants. Once a futuristic dream, now a growing field of synthetic biology. Number 8. First gene-edited human babies were born. In 2018, the world was stunned by an announcement that sounded like science fiction. A scientist in China claimed to have created the first gene-edited human babies. He used the CRISPR-Cas9 gene editing tool on human embryos to alter a gene called CCR5, which is involved in HIV susceptibility, then implanted those embryos, resulting in the birth of twin girls with edited DNA. This marked the first known case of designer genetic modification in humans that was carried through to birth. The experiment, conducted in secret, aimed to make the children immune to HIV. While the medical necessity was dubious, it demonstrated that the boundary of editing the human germline, once purely hypothetical, had already been crossed in reality. The idea of genetically tailored humans has long been a staple of science fiction, which is why the news felt so unbelievable. It was as if a threshold from fiction had been breached overnight. The scientific capability is real. CRISPR makes gene editing relatively fast and cheap, but most experts thought no one would actually attempt creating designer babies due to ethical concerns. The fact that it did happen shows how quickly technology can outpace regulation. It left the scientific community in an uproar and the world grappling with the reality that post-human experimentation is no longer theoretical. While the experiment was widely condemned and the scientist was penalized, the birth of CRISPR-edited babies proved that what sounds like a futuristic dystopia can manifest in the present day. Number 9. Brain implants let paralyzed patients control machines with their minds. Thanks to brain-computer interfaces, people are now able to control computers, robotic limbs, and other devices using only their thoughts. In one landmark study, surgeons implanted tiny electrode arrays into a paralyzed man's brain, specifically into movement planning areas. Signals from his neurons were decoded by a computer to move a robotic arm, and he was able to smoothly reach out, grab a cup, and drink from it just by thinking the action. Similarly, other BCI experiments have allowed patients to mentally control cursors on a screen, type out messages, or even regain a sense of touch through a prosthetic hand by feeding signals back into the brain. This sounds like cybernetic superpowers or telepathy, but it's happening in research labs and even clinical trials today. The idea of connecting brains to machines was firmly sci-fi for decades. Now, the basic science is in place. Thought-controlled prosthetics restore some independence to people who are paralyzed or amputated. They can directly think a command and see a device carry it out. It's unbelievable in that it fundamentally merges mind and machine. Every year, the tech is improving. For example, wireless brain implants and AI decoders, making what once seemed like a far future concept into a practical, assistive technology. This is one case where reality is catching up to the boldest imaginations of science fiction, with life-changing results for patients.